Okay, so in my point about like helping teach somebody that needed to learn something from you, that you need to get something out of that or do something else, is that you should be able to get something out of that. I think that's the point. And but another thing I want to talk about is, okay, basically I don't look at it as, teaching other people and this kind of thing, or helping other people progress or taking somebody that is unenlightened and enlightening them. But on the other hand, I would say that, if, okay, I'm on here to learn. I recognize that other people are on here to learn. So, just to be a good citizen in that process, I would share information. And yes, ideally it's being shared so that people can make good use of it, which inevitably means they'll progress in some way. The difference, of course, there is that it's not that they progress because they adopt the idea I'm trying to give them, because I'm not trying to give them an idea, but rather they build a new, better idea of their own, right? So, but what I did want to say is, in terms of helping someone else get a little bit closer to enlightened enough for this whole thing to change, there is going to be sort of a tipping point. Now, the tipping point is the point at which um, you teaching one other person is effective, right? So when there's a critical density of people that are, let's just say, enlightened, that each one of them, when they just tell one other person, that doubling that happens is suddenly significant. So when it's a small number and you're going to double it, or you're going to square it or something, as it gets bigger, then it changes less. And as it gets to be a large number, then it changes in this huge amount. So if you are just teaching one person, even in your whole life, just a few people, then at the very least, what you're doing is you're keeping this sensitivity to the tipping point going. Because when there's finally a critical density, it's going to be people teaching one other person that makes the difference. So ultimately, that's what makes the difference now as well, as we reach that tipping point. But of course, we're on YouTube, and I know you try hard in production, and you're thinking about popularization things, tech techniques and ideas. And in that respect, I'm sticking with, you really, it's mainstream art. You have to get a good kind of mainstream art. Mainstream art is synonymous with sucky art, but not always. There's some great stuff, and that's what makes the difference. So, and barring that, then just art in general, because with this kind of media we have now, you can have a mass complex of art, like networks of like YouTube, where you have all these micro audiences that add up to millions.